Hello, my astrology friends. This is Lada from AstroladaOfficial, and my presence for 2025 for you is the 12 signs, a summary of my 2025 video horoscopes in short, small packages of 10, 15, 20 minutes max per sign. I focus on Saturn, Jupiter, and Mars because these are the most important and active planets that show the tangible results you'll see in your life in 2025. But if you want the extended version of those videos, I have them on my website, 2.5 hours per each sign, where I cover Neptune changing signs, Uranus changing signs, the bisextile between Uranus, Pluto, and Neptune, Saturn-Neptune conjunction in Aries, the eclipses. Month by month I go there, but here this is a summary for you, for the major influences, so you know where to concentrate your efforts and where the best and the biggest gains from your efforts will come. So enjoy. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising 2025. Scorpio, this year is a year of self-discovery for you. Why is that? Because the majority of planets activating you are going to be in the self houses. You see the other water houses for you, Pisces, Cancer. That's where the biggest action is in this year, the most potent influence, because Mars first starts its retrograde path till April. It will be in your ninth house, house of who am I, what are my highest ideals, what is the future for me, my plan for the future. So Mars might be reworking your plan for the future. Sometimes people start pre-qualifying during that time, doubting what they've always believed and where they saw themselves. So actually this ninth house is so important because first Mars activates it till the end of April, then Jupiter activates it from June for 1 year till the middle of 2026. So the whole universe is trying to push you and help you find out those big questions for you. What is my purpose? Where am I heading? What truly inspires me? What gives me meaning? What's the reason for me to wake up in the morning? First, Mars can create some crisis here where you're asking, oh, I've always believed that. Is it true? Or I've always thought this is going to be my future, or this is what's going to happen, or some existential crisis with those big questions in life. And to some extent, sometimes there can be some legal issues one has to deal with when Mars is in the ninth house, or educational, university issues, or matters connected to relocation, foreign places as well. But usually these are the big moral questions, and this Mars retrograde and direct is actually helping you with a trine. So it's really helping you, whatever changes might be happening externally, it's really helping you redefine your role in this world and align yourself to your more dharmic path, the path that your soul desires, that will make you happiest. Dharma is true happiness. And then Jupiter enters this ninth house from June. Believe me, from June you'll feel such lifting of energy. The energy will become so much higher for you. You start feeling more positive. Any kind of gradually for 1 year ahead, any doubts you had about your future, where you're heading, what is your purpose, will be clarified, and you'll get a clear picture over 1 year when Jupiter is in your ninth house about what you're here to do, what you should study, where you should, ninth houses, what is your ideals as well. Because when you sort out this ninth house, the luckiest house in astrology, the house closest to God as well, when you sort out your relationship with God, or your relationship in regards to the universe, how you see yourself, your role in this incarnation, let's say, when you have this sorted out, everything else rearranges itself around it. When you have the right state of mind, as they call it, and especially higher perspective that Jupiter gives, answers to questions that you've had, as if you would feel like as if you've been in the forest till now, trying to find the path. And when Jupiter enters your ninth house, an ego lifts you up, or you get to the highest tree and you see, oh, that's where the path is. This is where the city is. You see it from above and you decide where you want to go. This will be the feeling. And there will be a lot more optimism, faith, feeling like you're at the right place at the right time, realigning with your higher self, seriously, realigning with the universe. You start believing the universe is a kind mother, a kind father that has your back, faith really increases. And during that time, a person becomes luckier. They feel they're lucky. It's just they have a higher perspective during that time. And God shows them the path in some way. So you might find teachers, mentors, people that inspire you, that gives you answers about important questions in your life from the second part of the year. And it can give you green access when Jupiter enters the ninth house to study in the best universities, or to find great mentors and teachers, or to start teaching yourself. I discovered astrology when Jupiter was in my ninth house. It became the meaning and purpose of my life. The next time it was in my ninth house, I started teaching. Ninth house is about, now I become the mentor, and I gave birth to my first child, another new meaning that will stay with me forever. So something will come from the second part of the year that will renew your meaning in life and purpose, and will make you luckier and, even wealthier in some way. So yeah, this is, and it might even bring you more money, because Jupiter rules your second house. Whatever new inspiration comes to you, it can be connected to more financial wealth for you. And the whole time, or 9 months out of those 12, Saturn stays in your fifth house, another self house, another house that shows you who you are. Here are your natural talents. Here are what you really can stand out and daze the world with. Your natural gifts that you're born with. Everyone has some natural gift that they're born with. For example, mine is not singing, for sure. And even if I love to do it, that's not my natural gift. But you discover when Saturn is in the fifth house. So in the ninth, you discover your high purpose, something to live for, your path, the future ahead. In the fifth, you discover your really true, something that will give you true self-esteem, true self-confidence. And these are your own inborn intelligence. Fifth house, the house of your intelligence. Is not the third house like we think. Third house is how you can communicate and how fast you're with words. But true intelligence is ability to create, ability to find yourself out of situations by independent creative thinking. So Saturn here is working on your natural talents, creativity, helping you discover them, helping you master them, helping you maybe even turn a talent that you have. And we have a talent, but if we don't develop it, it doesn't go anywhere. Saturn, it puts exactly those 10,000 hours into some talent. You have to turn it into something genius and exceptional, to master it. So some of you might be doing just that, mastering some talent they have. Others might be working on some creative project. Others might be working on turning a talent into a business. Fifth house is anything that you grow from a baby, like your own, whether it's a business that's your own personal idea, whether it's actual business, child. When my husband had Saturn in the fifth house, that's when we had 2 babies, and I was working a lot, so he had to take care of the children a lot. Sometimes this is, some responsibilities towards children. But finding your core self, this Jupiter there is part of the core houses, Saturn there. So you get a lot more clarity about who you are, and a lot more inner strength, and you have an opportunity to be more creative, to be more empowered, I would say. Look, they're making trines to you, and especially towards the end of the year, both Saturn and Jupiter will be making trines towards the last 10 degrees of Scorpio from 20 till 30. Something amazing around November, December 2025, like really like grand trine. Something will flow, some problem will be solved, something will be rewarded. Something will fall into place, like the puzzles will fall into place. And that's how I want to show you the whole year, like the puzzles falling into place. You're finding missing puzzles of you that you're putting in yourself somehow. And so work on your talents, study something new from the second part of the year. New inspirations are coming. Yes, Saturn in the fifth house can say there might be some issues in your love life. Sometimes it's one of the houses of love, and we have Mercury and Venus retrograde there already February, March, April. It's quite tense here in this fifth house, but it's making a trine to you, Scorpio. So you'll be, because I'm quite worried worldwide for this eclipse here, retrograde Venus, Mercury, Saturn, Neptune, and North Node conjunction at the same time. the sun and moon there as well. It's about 2-3 months they are constantly there. But for you, it's like it unlocks your house of good karma from past lifetimes. So maybe around that time, actually, something good can come to you from past life actions, unexpected, because we have 2 retrograde planets. You can unlock as well some good karma from this life, and some creative project, something important with creative project with a child or romantic relationships during the retrograde period, which is around April and March and April. Someone from the past can enter your life, or some old passion and project of yours can come to be redone, but something important is happening, or something with children that's very important. If you're Scorpio, something life-changing connected to children as well can happen. So you see, a lot of the focus is this 5th, 9th houses, which are supporting you, Scorpio, and Uranus is moving out of opposition with you, so no more disruptions. Sometimes in July it moves and comes back in November, but only in the last 3 degrees. So only the last 3 degrees of Scorpio will feel Uranus after the summer for a few more months. And Uranus moves into your 8th house, out of the picture. Neptune and Saturn for a few months move into your 6th house, no longer respecting you. So Scorpio for many years ahead will be free from difficult, the outer planets will be free from a direct aspect from Uranus, free from a direct aspect from Saturn, free from a direct aspect from Neptune. Only Pluto will stay with you for the next 7-10 years until Uranus moves, but they'll be all helpful aspects. And so the big thing is Pluto for 18 years in your 4th house, where you really end the karma of your family, break the pattern of your ancestors, and break away from old patterns, family patterns, and understand a lot about your past and so on. But I want to focus on this year in particular, that for you it is about finding yourself, finding your meaning and purpose. There'll be a lot of lucky unlocking of lucky circumstances, so to speak. Yes, there might be some rethinking of your relationship with children, something very important happening in your love life, like someone leaving, someone appearing as well, because the North Node enters there, your creative projects and so on. But there's a lot of help, and I speak a lot more in depth how Uranus in your 8th house will affect you, how Saturn and Neptune in your 6th house will affect you. But this year you feel it only for 3 months, so it's not really, Saturn in your 6th house is not really the focus this year. It's much more in your 5th house, trying to create for you true self-confidence based on your talents that you need to unfold. And then when Saturn moves to the 6th house, okay, for 3 months it does. This is when you become the apprentice, so to speak. And this is when you really put order in your life, when you really organize yourself, your health habits, your routines. You become much more meticulous about cleanliness, about your environment, and you dedicate yourself to a lot of hard work. You have 2 and 3 years ahead with Saturn in your 6th house, where you're willing to be the hard worker, where you sometimes people even become a bit of a workaholics. And Saturn and Neptune start a new cycle in your 6th house. There might be a brand new jobs for some of you Scorpios that is coming over the next 2 years, brand new service that you're called to do to others, brand new, a lot of you might have some very important mission in service areas, where service areas of any sort, whether it's the medical field, whether it's healing fields, whether it's military or any kind of service to others in need in some way, because you might make some big changes in the world in connected to service or health or anything like that. But I speak a lot more in depth in my 2025 video about those other short influences. But for now, I want you to focus that it's the self houses. That's where the most important influences for you are, and you're finding who you are and putting the puzzles of your picture together and strengthening yourself.